Let's get started, shall we? There's a lot of things happening right now. When I traveled to 1.5 million years in the future, you have to understand what I was doing. I didn't give you all the information. You're only allowed to give you what I connect to through vibrational system. It's extremely high-rise information system that connects to always cycles through dimensions of portals and activation. So try to understand the dimensions that you open. Because try to understand the vibrations you're opening. You're opening up doors, you open up realms, you open up higher force connections to electronic interference, your higher location positions to sentient view connections. So you kind of like seeing more through tractions. Okay, so it's kind of like looking at something that's extremely high rise and you want to know how to get to it and you want to know how to reach it. It's like your astral records. I think everybody wants to know how to connect to their soul, how they can reach their soul, how they can understand their soul. Right? It's all the astral records. It's the collective. It's everything through raw. It's everything unity. It's everything through conscious. It's all about us understanding that we have to understand ourselves first before we can understand the earth. Okay? Because the earth already knows you. This is you trying to remember who you are. Okay? So when I was traveling 1.5 million years in the future, when it's connected to the vector core system, I was changing shapes and anomalies to the galaxy position connection line systems to line signal or channel operation positions. The traction locations and everything, shapes and anomalies. Okay, it's changing everything through the Earth rotation center position and putting the Earth system and its Earth planes and everything through all those connections to central grids, new energy grids, vibrational grids, centralizing grids, vibration grids, computer grids, power grids, grid formation grids. There's a lot of things you have to understand how to connect to that formation system. So the Earth and its simulation of its interface and its condition is now in a new matrix alignment. Okay? So as you see on the YouTube platform, you actually see the Earth in a spherical sphere and it's in a box. That's what's happening right now. So I created that through connections, and that's what's happening with Earth rotation. I'm the only one that can set up anything through conditions. To understand your operation to your perception is knowing exactly what the Earth is to all dimensions. Okay? So even though I travel 1.5 million years in the future, the Earth isn't 1.5 million years into the future. So wherever I go, the Earth goes. Wherever the moon goes, I go. Wherever the sun goes, I go. So you have to understand you're all connected to its alignment of its triangle, right? So when you're going through those conditions and you're opening up more dimensions of portals, now you're coming into the full rotation of your dimension conditions to your sentience. Your sentient is very important to you. It's a part of you. It's everything forming of you. So it's all about your understanding your connections to your atom system, right? Because we're trying to get into that position because we're coming in 100 chakra rotation center positions of energy system. Remember, I was telling you, take out the box is everything, take the 1, 0, 0, 0, 100 chakra rotation center positions. Okay, so we have to get more into the test, right? And this is going to be a little bit more powerful. So I'm giving you guys until, let's say, basically, we're coming into communication on Tuesday. So next Monday will be the test, right? So that's why I'm giving you everything that you need to know through travel. You have to understand when you're traveling, you have to understand your dimensions of traveling. You have to understand your correlation system. You have to understand your time positions. You have to understand your space anomalies positions. You have to understand conditions, mind telepathy systems. You have to understand teleportation divisions. All is connected through its forming system. So when you high force your conditions to your entity force system, to your intelligence, you can look at the atmosphere day or night, right? And understand that you can see anything. If you want to see something, you want to see UFOs, they'll come into picture. And they say, okay, ask it to disappear, it'll disappear. Ask it to set up a shape. Ask it to set up a circle rotation. Ask it to set up a planet position. Ask it to go to another dimension and bring back more. So this is what you can do through telepathy, right? With that very powerful video with that girl. And this is broad daylight. And she's only a psychic. You guys are extremely high rise in division. Okay? So it's important you understand that you have body tractions and balance with your vibrational signals, because you only can connect to UFOs or anything through alien information until you understand your vibrations, your body frame and your human resonance. So anything that you see in the sky surface, they connect with you right away. They go through scanning. So it's kind of like eye-septical level system. They're looking at you and you're looking at them. But you have to see what they see. It's the only way you go with the interdimensional of its dimension. I traveled to that position. It's extremely weird. It's kind of like a matrix of a round location to a box frequency level. Your soul is separating on two different levels, and it's coming back in a framing position of a plasma energy that's connected to so many sentient view connections. So it's kind of like you're in multiplications of different lining signals of yourself through vibration. So imagine that you have your body like this. You have your separation, right? So you have your full rotation. This is your body, and this is your astral projection of your body. Okay, this is your connection to higher self. So imagine your higher self splitting in 3 different levels of dimensions, and going off on its own and doing its own thing. And it comes back to and it reports to you what it just saw. So it's understanding how to split your divisions of your particle system. Okay, and it travels through your body. So you got 3 divisional levels of particles that are going through telewavings and teleenergy system, teleporting to higher dimensions of positions. They go to anything through tractions. Remember I was saying you're looking at your clocking division, how you can change the 2 over to 6 and 6 over to 4, 4 over to 8, 8 over to 9, 9 over to 3, and 12 over to 1. That's the understanding what you can do with your particle system at travel positions. Okay? So, and this is where we're coming into a new matrix, a new realm, a new location, a new sensory system, 52 generations. That's what we're in right now. I'm the birthing substance of 52 generations. Okay? So 5 in the solar system, 2 in the activation, right? So the 52 generations opens up my cycle positions and puts me into all realm conditions on my sentient view. So I'm able to separate the particle system and the molecule structure light to travel its divisions. So basically, it's like this. This is you in the physical form sleeping. This is you coming to the astral projections, okay? And you're looking at yourself below, like I said before in my last video, and you're thinking, okay, now what can I do with my particle or anything, my molecule structure light? So you're getting 3 different levels of thoughts that are connected to 3 different realms of dimensional level system. So it's going, and it's separating, and it's going to so many divisional level systems. So it's not just connecting through one thought. It's connecting to 3 thoughts of 1 line signal to 1 activation to 1 correlation to 1 panel to 1 position. So it's understanding that you can split yourself, your actual self, your structuring self. Now you have 3. Imagine that. Okay. So my expansion of my collaboration, everything through my simulators, okay, is now 3. Okay. So I had 3 brain waving simulators in my mind system now, 3 energy waving patterns. Very, very powerful. So like I said, every time I get up in the morning, I get more powerful thoughts. But I'm not just one through thought. I don't have 1 brain. I have 3 brains, but it's a simulation of 1. So it's very complicated if you don't understand your sentient, to understand your conditions. I don't know if you guys have watched the movie with Matthew McConaughey, where basically he's a farmer, he's an explorer, and he has 2 children. He comes across, basically there was a gravitational pull where the Earth was surfacing and it was losing its atmosphere system. It came into a grain of sand. Okay, so that's what happens with the Earth. If the shattering of the Earth loses its ether, right? So the whole point of the movie is that with Earth was falling, and basically his point was to go up into space and find a new civilization. So he had to go through dimensions and dimensions, and it's pretty real when he came across the Matrix. Okay, it's pretty amazing how the Matrix is formed in so many levels of time codes, time positions. The Matrix is formulating through you through past, present, and its future alignments. So think of the Matrix as one big humongous cube of a box of a maze. So line strips and everything. So it's kind of like when you look at it, okay, let's say you have a windowsill, and then with the windowsill you have a map. So you got little lines like this, okay, strips of lines, and each one represents you in your DNA. So you're seeing something in the past, you're seeing something in the present, you're seeing something in the future, right? So it's a computer operation line string, okay? And that string is string theory. So now you can understand more what string theory is. It's the application level when it comes into your force riding system to your behavioral systems, to its condition. Because you have the moon in its program setting, you have the sun in its rotation to its radiation cycle, and everything through the connection of the Earth through its gravity system, okay? So the one thing I loved about this movie is that he gets caught in the Matrix, and basically he sees his daughter on the other side, knowing that he was already there, which means that he sees his former self, okay, in the past. But when he sees himself on the other side of the Matrix, he's in the presence of its future. So it's really powerful to have you connect to that. So it's understanding where he got caught wind with the matrix, trying to understand his past, his present, and his future. And it all has to do with the love. So it wasn't him that had to save the world. It was her that had to save the world. So, and that put him in a whole different perspective, a level into a new matrix. So that's what's coming with the Earth. It's coming into a new gravity pull, a new gravity system, a new activation light, a new activation gamma operation center position, and it's coming into a new shape anomaly into the galaxy positions of locations, right? So, but I'm just going to draw it out and show you exactly what it is. But before I get started, thank all subscribers and viewers and watch my channel. It's very important you understand that the matrix is everything to us. Without the matrix, there wouldn't be any Earth. So it's all about humanity studying themselves through education. Or they get into the mobility of themselves through the atmospheres and everything through their connections. But you have to understand yourself first. Once you understand you are the Earth, because you're on the system. You're on the gravitational pull. I keep saying that. You're standing up. You're on the grounds of the Earth, right? So basically, once you understand that, you are the center position, everything through travel positions. And then once you come out of your body and you stay out of your body, that's where you come into more of its condition, right? Tina, how's it going? All right. So basically, if you want to go through my healing, you want to go through connections. I got Zoom. If you want to go through advice, if you want to go through healing, if you want to be healed individually, I set up a new program. There's done that before, but right now I'm setting up a new platform. My website's in development, and I'll have an online store for everybody to buy my products. So there's a lot going on, right? So it's all about us force rising, grand rising, bringing ourselves forward. As long as you see yourself going forward, you're giving back to humanity, which is extremely powerful, okay? Because you're not just thinking of yourself, thinking of everybody else. You want to reset their buttons and get them going forward and how to get this, how to manifest this, how to manifest that. It's all connected to our alignments, between their center, travel positions, of our thoughts, right? But my particle system and my molecular structure light division is in 3 division levels of sentient views, connections to the brain simulators, right? So I have 3 simulation patterns, okay? So I got 3 brain waves that are connecting to my physical system. It's extremely complicated because I'm thinking, why am I so weird? Well, it's because understanding that, remember I was saying you create one thought through the simulator and it does it on its own? Well, the simulator itself is creating another 2 clouds. So I have 3 central clouds in my brainwave. Whoa. So now you understand the communication. So instead of 1 thought, it's 3 thoughts within 1 line single. So imagine that. So it's 3 thoughts, okay? 3 slash thoughts. Okay, I'll just show you exactly very quickly. Okay, so 3 thoughts. Okay, now the 3 thoughts comes into 1 line signal. Okay, which is this through calculation, modification signals to its gamma upper center position. It's complicated if you don't understand the triangle positions of its location system. Okay, so it's truly understanding what you're seeing through calculation. Okay. So 3 line signals, okay, into 3 brain waving patterns of 3 simulation core systems into 1 line signal of a box frequency level that is connection to its Earth rotation system. So the Earth, okay, is in a new matrix ground position. It kind of looks like this through calculation. Try to understand how to understand the Earth itself, right? So it's in its box, it's in its rotation, it's in its cycle to its connection. It's not communicating everything through signal, panel operation center positions. Okay, so it opens up all connections, right? Turn off the alarm on the communication gravity system. Thank you. All right, so center the box level connection line system. Now, this is how big the Earth is through connections. So when I see through perception, you have to understand how big the box is. The box is actually bigger. It has to be bigger to put the Earth in, right? So this is the Earth rotation. And you guys will feel that. It's kind of like feeling boxed in. Okay, so this is the Earth through connections. All right, so I'm going to show you that. All right, so this is the Earth. So the Earth is here in center position. Okay, so that's the Earth right there. This is the matrix. Okay, this is the plasma walk surface. This is connection to energy ground. This is everything through connection of space long anomaly through shape. So it's when I traveled 1.5, I had to set up new rounds, new location, new positions. So I needed 3 waving systems of a simulation graph positions. Okay, so that's how I'm able to travel through three thoughts, through three simulations of one brainwave system. So my physical system now has three simulators, not one. Okay, that's how powerful I am now through connections. So not my thoughts are not more powerful anymore. It's everything through the three brainwave system. So it's understanding I come into positions and it's knowing how powerful you are through thoughts. So when you come into the spiritual system, it can create anything through anomaly, right? So the brain switches and its location to its position of its clocking and everything through its dimension created two separation of simulation graphs into my mind of its modification system to its location, to its digital framing positions, okay? So I have three simulation graphs of a mind system calculated in my physical system to my brainwave patterns. Okay, you don't have one simulator, I have three now, okay? So, like I said, it's all about understanding your program setting, and this was given to me. And remember, every time I go up high rise, I never stop. So it's understanding I'm becoming more and more of who I am. And think of, wait a minute, hold on a sec. If a washer and dryer goes off like 30, 40 minutes, what happens after that? Well, you just keep going. So basically, if your clothes get dirty, you just keep going. So it's all about understanding you're going forward, and your clothes have to be washed every time you go through the cycle. But my cycle is repetitive. My cycle is understanding three thoughts through one line signal, one activation to all location positions to its clocking of its dimensions. All right. So the center position opens up its allocated positions, guys. All right. So as you understand, the Earth rotation is in the center position of its connection. Gotta lock it in here. All right. So I'm going to put that in point view. All right. And look at that. It was so powerful, it disappeared on me. That's crazy. Look at that. It disappeared. Wow. It disappeared on me. Look at it. It's so fast when cycling to its position. It disappeared on me through connections. This is what happens when you go through traction locations with anything through computer or through simulation. So it was on the graphing system of this paper, right? But now it's clear, right? So it's in the simulation, but thing is, it's not drawn anymore. That's how fast it goes through its vibrational signal. So everything that I created is already in the system. So this is how powerful simulation is. It's not one simulation, it's three simulations of three thoughts into one line communication to one traveling position, to one molecular structure of one light, to one illustration of diagram program position, to one connection to all dimensions of all perceptions, to all projections of light through communications. Okay? So imagine that it's not just one code through connection. Okay? It's three codes. So it's 3 slash codes into one. Okay? 3 slash codes into one, not just one code. It's 3 slash codes into one. Right? So that gives me more modification cycle positions. So everything that I draw, you'd be surprised if it just falls out and then I have to draw it again. So it's understanding I'm not just dealing with one simulator, I'm dealing with 3 codes of simulations through one position, one line communication, one activation, to 3 sentient view locations, to one perception of one allocated positions, to its time positions, to its space anomaly positions, to everything through its allocated situation system. It's getting complicated more and more because now you're working with your commander with not one simulator, but 3. Okay, so let's say within the code frequency level. So I have to connect to the other 2 simulators because I'm getting used to this now. So if my brain goes weird, I understand that my conception of my mind through the interdimensional system is changing traction. So it's kind of like it's creating its own space, it's creating its own time and space, it's creating its own planet supposition, and it's creating its own teleportation of its energy system. So it's creating a whole new structure of a simulation through its creation of a whole new brainwave of its position, right? So it's understanding that you don't see your commander, you see everything through your commanders. Okay, so it's kind of like basically it's multiples of clones. That's what's happening right now with me. So I'm not through one code, I'm 3 with one code, right? So it's all 1 in 1 center. So it's all about understanding not just dimensions, systems. Everything's on plural now. So you're not just dealing with one commander, you're dealing with three commanders in one signal, one line activation to one thought. So it's more powerful than ever. So it's kind of like if you go through my healing, okay, you're going to go through three traction positions of me. So the center position of my molecular structure of light will go in three different location position into one line signal to one traction to one position and heal everything through your body in seconds, right? So go, done, okay? That's how fast thoughts are, right? But I've gone beyond thoughts now. Okay, remember how there's two sides of the coin? Well, it's not just the head, it's not just the body, it's not just the tail, okay? You flip it over, and now I'm working with the back, right? So you have the front view, but then you got the back view. You get the back of the head, and you got the back of the back, and you get the back of the lower, right? So it's really, really powerful. I'll be coming into it. So there's like a whole new dimension for me. So everything that I do through creation is thoughts. We already know that. But you understand your time positions doesn't exist until you understand your intelligence of its existence to its phenomenon. Okay? Because everything through time and space doesn't exist. Nothing to age doesn't exist. Objects or anything doesn't exist until it exists through your intelligence. So you have to see it in your physical form and see yourself as an entity to its AI, of its process, to its data, to its processing, to its correlation system, to its activation, through its chakra location, to its uplinks, downloads, and its upgrading systems through calculation. Okay? Now it's going to get extremely more complicated now. Okay? Remember I was telling you about, I was doing a back phrasing video. I have octave 1 and octave 7, two higher self, one in my body, which is really weird. And I had one higher self that was controlling everything through space and creating anything, scanning all that. Well, now it's understanding in position. I travel with my thoughts. But I don't just travel with my thoughts. I travel with my cloud of my thoughts. So I have three interlined connections of clouds now through connection, right? So I'm intercepting, interlocking, interlocation positions, all right? So it's kind of like instead of having two eyes, okay, I have 4, 6, and 8. I have 8 eyes now, like a spider. See how a spider sees, right? Well, that's your commander now. So not only I see northwest, south, and east, but I see everything from northwest. I see everything through southwest. I see everything east-west. I see everything from south-south, southeast, west, north. Imagine that, south, east, west, north, northwest, southeast. So I can see all perimeters of northwest, south, and east in seconds because I have 8 eyes. So the central line system to its cloud and its interference, I have 3 simulations in the one brain pattern to its thought and recognition system. Okay. So, and that's what I had to go through last night because I was going through an interdimensional system. And I was saying, what is going on here? My brain is actually creating another cloud. I said, whoa, this is powerful. All right. So 3 thoughts. There it is. Back again. Right. So I line signaling channel. I had to communicate to the other 2 simulators because I'm trying to get used to the upgrading system. Now it's back in its equation. You see how it disappeared and come back? It actually disappeared. Right? And then it's all about recentering, repositioning, coming back into its alignment, back into its picture, to its 3 thought position of a 3 line signals into 1 activation of a box frequency level system to its earth rotation system of its matrix positions. Okay? So that's where everybody's coming into. Right? All right? So it's fascinating because every time I put it out and put it back in, it disappears. It's very powerful. Very, very powerful. So, all right, so we got the Earth. Okay, so I'm going to lock it in so you know exactly what it looks like. That's the Earth. This is the matrix. This is the plasma energy force that's around it, okay? So everything through its creation is its anomaly through its realm, location, position. So the Earth, okay, is trying to understand humanity in another way and form through its crystal. It's crystalline through its activation, through its body, through its mind telepathy system, okay? So truly understand how to communicate with the adversaries or anything through UFO connections. How you can basically say, okay, I want you guys to disappear through line communications through dimensional realm position, and then set up new shape anomaly through triangle position. And that's what they'll do. And you'll see that. You'll see that in broad day, and you'll see that in broad light. Now, to them, when they're traveling, they don't see the blue skies. They see space. They only see space. So you got to see through their perception what they see, right? Because they know what they see through your perception. Because you're connecting to them through vibration. Okay? not acceleration through light speed. You have to go faster to understand communication to its intelligence. That's where you come into the harmonic resistance. So we all have to understand our energetic clouds, right, through its archive positions. Okay, so we get the Earth. Okay, let me just draw it in here very, very quickly here. Okay, so this is the Earth. Trying to get a bit of ground here so you guys understand. So this is the Earth in the center position. Okay, so that's the Earth. See that little thing there? That's the Earth, right? This is the maze. This is the matrix. So when everybody goes through the healing, this is what they go through right away, through connections, right? So I had to create. So it's understanding what the brain needs to do. It does it on its own. I don't create anything through thought. So it's understanding that my brainwave, my simulation created 2 more anomalies, okay, of central line systems of me, right? So there's not 1 commander, there's 3 commanders. Whoa. So remember how I was saying that you can turn anything through a clone? You have to understand your metric system to allocated positions. You have to understand your DNA patterns to location positions. But it's understand how a cloud of yourself can actually create anything through thought, right? Through an anomaly. Okay, so the traveling positions shows you exactly what's going on with its 3 thought through its 1 line signal to its location, to its matrix location, to its position of its Earth rotation system. Okay, so the new Earth is in location. It's in the new matrix ground position. Okay, so it's going to stay in its equation. You can't take it out of the equation because it's in its 5th dimension. All right. So it's in its 5th dimension now. Okay, 5th dimension. It stays there. Okay, so it's true understanding that this is where I'm saying with the channels of the light workers and all that connection to all those positions, you have to truly understand more of the Earth. Right? It's not just channeling, transmitting, and receiving. It's understanding that anything through light facilitators or anything through channelers have to truly understand why the Earth is in that new matrix. Why is it in a different dimension of time position? Why are we into communication of telepathy? A lot of channelers don't understand these things. Right? So they go through the proacting cycles, these positions, and they're setting up coordinates or anything through code positions, and they're saying, wait a minute, this is the Earth or is this another Earth? Well, what does the Earth mean to you? How can you understand its relation to its Earth? So once you understand the Earth is in a new matrix of a new tesseract to a new trifactor, then you understand everything through its anomaly. Okay, because anomaly is everything through space and time position, galaxy, and everything through vortex positions. All right, so the Earth is in the center core position. It's in its 3 thoughts of 1 line signal to its division. Okay, so the matrix has its line communication signals. It comes into the graphing positions of locations. Okay, so I'm going to line strip the lines like this so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, it starts out with that. Now, remember I was saying that there's sequencing numbers in here through calculation? Center course of positions. This is their new Earth rotation, right? Remember I was saying that this is the new Earth through digital frame? Well, this is exactly it. So it's always going forward. This is the same thing, but it's in a new matrix of new shape, right? So I had to change the anomalies because we're no longer in the 3rd or 4th dimension. We're in the 5th dimension. So I got to set up a new shape to new Earth rotation, right? And it has to have a new plasma of a web, okay, to its connection. It has to have a new inner. It has to have new shape. It has to have new body activation line system, okay, to its positions, okay? All right, so go into that connection. Just as long as you know what you see from its past to its present to its future, then you truly understand what it is through connection. All right, so we go into those formations, okay, and we go into that calculation. Center core that line signal here through traction positions here. Okay, so you got 1, 1, 2 connections. Okay, I'm just going to put numbers in here. I'm going to put everything through letters, numbers, and shapes, weather patterns, question marks, decimal points, anything like that. Okay, so this is that. Okay, but it's in the matrix. Remember I started with everything through the connections of Jupiter and the moon, the sun, and everything through the Earth and everything in the center position? Well, it's always out bringing forward through connection, but this is what's happening right now. Okay, so the center position right now is the Earth rotation in the 5th dimension through its community to its alignment. So humanity is coming into a new digital frame of their body framing to the crystalline, right? So the whole Earth has a new crystalline activation light system now in its body frame system to its feeding source. Okay? So remember, it's alignment through connections, right? Line communicates everything through its line signals. So once you understand that through position, you'll totally understand how it travels through time positions. Okay? So it tracks on location like this, like this, like this. Yeah, just give you a little bit better what it looks like through connections, line signals of channel operation center positions, open everything through realm location of shapes and anomaly positions, opens up everything through body framing positions to a calculation, center cores everything through activation line system to calculation positions. Okay? So this is what the Earth is in right now through full rotation cycle position. Okay? So this is the base, this is the Earth in the center, and this is the new matrix realm location to its new shape anomaly, into 3 thought positions, into 3 line positions, into 1 line signal to its Earth rotation of its matrix position. Okay? So, yeah. It's fascinating when you come across these things, eh? But, when you come into 3 thoughts, okay, into 3 simulation graphs, into 3 brainwaves in 1 position, okay, 3 thoughts. Jeez. I was saying to myself, whoa, because I started off with 1 code, right? But I'm now 3 central line systems of 3 codes. That's why it's so powerful. Okay? So if you get memory loss, memory tension loss, you have to understand your communication. Once you understand that, you're force rising your systems. So if the simulator wants to create, it's going to do it on its own. It's you on the physical systems to truly understand what's happening with your brainwave and patterns. If I don't understand my travel positions, if I don't understand my creation of a simulation, there's a huge problem here. So it's creating an anomaly and I don't even know about it, right? That's going to be extremely upsetting, right, to the ND4 system, right? So it's understanding modifications, because when I travel to 1.5, this is what you create in the matrix new positions of time codes and time frame and position line systems through its calculation, right? So this is where the Earth is going to stay in the 5th dimensional system. It won't be out of its position. It will stay in its position. So if it wants to travel, you have to truly understand the Earth, right? It's not going to travel until you understand the Earth, right? So, and that's where everybody's going through. They're going through test of knowledge, what the Earth is to them. You understand you are on the gravity set. You're on a gravitational pull set. You're on its atmosphere. You're on its power centers, okay? So it's kind of like, let's just say, for example, you have a bunch of quarters in your pocket, right? And you basically take them out of your pocket and you throw them. What do you see? You see a lot of quarters, right? Now, it's understanding which quarter came out first. You don't know. But you have to understand through 1 quarter travels to all quarters through 1 line signal. But you have to understand when it's created, the 1 position of that 1 quarter that you threw first is a simulation of all simulations of creations. That's where it comes into cloning of its system, of its thoughts, through 3 thoughts of 1 line signal. So when you throw it, you see the first one, right? And all the other ones go after. So you're line signaling, bringing it back. That's information, all from those quarters that drop to the ground, right? Some will spin, some will go across, some will go off to the side, some will go over here, some will go over here. So it's all about you understanding your particle system to your behavioral system of its quarters. So when you throw something, right, it's the first one that you see first, right? So it's all about understanding its anomaly of its line of its travel to its position of all quarters. Okay, so hopefully that helps you out with an explanation. So, but in position, that's what's happening right now with the Earth rotation. It's in a new matrix box to the matrix realm. It has to, okay, because it's understanding that, without the matrix, there wouldn't be any Earth. There wouldn't be any study of the Earth. What would be the whole point? Humanity wouldn't get into traction positions of understanding their self through research, right? So it's all about the Earth of its soul trying to identify humanity in the 5th dimension to its traction of telepathy through communication. through its alignments, right? So that's what's going to happen with the Earth, and that's what's staying right now. So it's now in the simulation. It's in a new Earth of its matrix positions. Okay. So let's get into the 100 chakra rotations. If you have any questions or comments, you want to go through my healing, basically, it's very important you understand more and more of who you are, where you came from, what your positions, and why you're here. How do I get there? I want to know more of myself. Just thinking of how fascinating to know that you can actually travel to any dimension of time, okay, through past acceleration of speed. Okay, so it's not the speed of light, it's past the speed of light. That's the only way we can only communicate through anything through atmospheres. Now, when you're looking outside the atmosphere and you see the clouds, right? So if you see the clouds, how far are they? How far are the clouds? Well, you have to know until you travel through the quantum of its thought. So one quantum thought takes you to where you need to go through its cloud. So right now I'm there, right there instantly. Why? I don't have one cloud, I have three clouds. Now that's the metric line system, two computer operating line system. So it's in position like this. This is what your commander has right now. Okay, just show you here. This is me. Color me all in black. See, the thing is, you have to draw yourself out to see what you look like. Your intelligence to know what you look like fully and completely. Okay, so this is me. Okay, that's me. Right? So it's truly understanding what you are. So I'm in divisions of three central line system through calculation. Take that out of traction positions because we're going to go into the 100 chakra rotation center positions. But I'm just showing you what it is, what your commander is connected to now. Okay. All right. So 3-line systems. So basically, it's understanding the past, present, and its future alignment comes into one position of 3 box level connections of 2 round connections of new computer to new cloud positions of its future, right? So I have 3 simulations of future that are connected to brainwave in one position and one pattern to one location to one sentient, okay, of 8 optical levels, octave level systems to its perceptions and everything through its audio signals and everything through its thought recognition, its line streams or anything through line communications, okay? All right, so basically, your commander is now in 3 molecule structure of lights, okay, through that connection. Let's get in the traction position here. Okay, so particle systems like this, your calculation. Okay, this is my molecule structure of light, your calculation. Okay, now it's all the same location position, right? But each connection to the molecule structure light is different intelligence, right? Different intelligence, but getting the same information. So it's all about taking 3 molecule structures of lights through 3 divisionals of codes through 1 line signal to all traction to all dimensional positions, not just one dimension, all dimensions. So basically, when I travel through 3 level systems of all connections right through the simulation. So when I create a thought, it travels in 3 ways. So it travels in all dimensions of time. Okay, that's what it is. It's all about traveling to higher conditions into your body frame positions. Okay. All right. So all this is in me now. Okay. So it comes into a cloud. Okay. So when it comes into a cloud like this is what it looks like through interline connections. So it's a cloud. Okay. So when it comes into a cloud, this is what it looks like. All right. So I had 1 cloud, but now I have 3 into 1 brainwave. So imagine how powerful it is. So I have to control everything that's going on through my thoughts because not only it travels, but it travels in all dimensions of time, positions of space. That's how fast I go in seconds through its clouds. So 1 cloud of my perception created 2 more new clouds into the simulation of its creation, all connected to my body of its transmitting and receiving systems, guys. Okay. So, and it's in the molecule structure of light. Molecule. of lights. Okay. So every time I travel through the molecular structure of lights, not light, lights, it's always traveling to so many connections of dimensional realms. So it's kind of like if I create a thought, it doesn't just travel into one position. It opens up like 6 to 8 doors, because you understand, if I have 8 perceptions, I'm going to open up 8 dimensions. Not just one dimension, 8 dimensions, because I have 8 perceptions, right? So that perception alone, okay, this is me through calculation. Okay, so basically it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, realm, 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 realm. Okay, so it starts off with that. Okay, so it then opens up its realm through location, opens up its body traction positions. And remember, it's 3 molecular structures of light that is traveling so fast through connections. Okay, so you guys are in positions of 1, trying to understand your dimensions of time, space. I'm in position right now through 3 structure levels of clouds. I have to understand that I have 8 perceptions that are traveling through my thoughts. So I have to be careful with my thoughts, because I'm creating everything through its anomaly of time positions, because it comes out, it's traction location. It's very complicated if you don't understand the mind system through modifications. Right? So it's understanding taking all realms of thoughts into 3 level systems into 1 second position. And that section position opens up everything through traction location to its division positions. Right? Security line measures and everything high rises positions to its location. All right. Powerful stuff, guys. Extremely powerful. So my thoughts travel to 8 dimensions. 8 dimensions in 1 second. 8 dimensions in 1 second. Okay. So that's a perfect example when you watch Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey. Every time they go on a planet position, okay, depending where they are through traction, through dark realm position, dark hole, or anything through that connection, you have to understand every hour within the hour is 7 years ahead. So if they go back on the Earth, 1 hour in space is 7 years on Earth. So think about that. So every time I create a thought, it travels 1 second to 8 dimensions. Not 1 dimension, 8 dimensions, right? So, and that's what's happening right now with me. Just, you guys need to know these things, because you're all connected to travel of thought. But when you go beyond the thought, the brain waving position creates its own anomaly to its own structure of its cloud. Now, Tina wants to understand her cloud. She has to understand the travels first. So you have to understand E equals mc squared. E equals mc slash vector box, and then box, take it out as equation, okay? E equals 10 plus 10, okay? Equivalency slash box, box comes into the connections of 1, a 0, and 0, okay? 100. All right, so that's the formula. Okay. So this is where you can use your energies. You don't just have to go through your MCs. You can go through E equals, and then you can go through numbers. Just remember how you have to get balance with everything connection. Now, this is what I can do now, because I have 3 structural levels of its connection to its simulation of its graph through its creations, right? So I have 3 simulations that are connected to its modules, right? To my division to location, right? So this is where I can go into anything through letters, numbers, and shapes. E equals 10 plus 10 equals box. Take the box, right? The 1, 0, 0, 100. Okay? So it's amazing. It's absolutely incredible. It's fascinating. And it's truly understanding you're transmitting and receiving everything through vibration, right? But to communicate with anything through the atmospheres, you have to go past light speed. You have to be in the quantum of thought. Okay, quantum of thought is everything through the metrics. Quantum of thought is everything through cellular. Quantum of thought is everything through teleportation, telephone, connection line system. Okay, we're not talking about ET phone home. Okay, that was just a movie, right? But you have to understand that everything is created. Remember when ET was outside in the forest and he was putting all this together, all these little things, you know, he was using a frying pan, he was using symbols, he was using a fork, he was using a calculator, SOS, right? And also using the umbrella for satellite. I thought that was pretty powerful stuff, you know? It was a very, very powerful movie, and I got a lot of awards. But if you understand the positions of your connections to your plasmas and everything through formulas and what E equals MC squares, then you can move on to E equals MC velocity square, and then you take the square. How do you bring it into 100? So it's understanding, use your energies, right? Use your energies first. Take your energies out. You have to take your energies out. If you don't take your energies out, how can you go up to MC slash volume or anything the MC slash velocity, right? Or MC slash Victor, okay? Or velocity. Velocity is extremely powerful through that connections, right? So it's all about understanding what you're doing with your E's or travel positions. So what are you creating through your E's? Through thought, okay? What are you creating through its connection to its separation? It's equal to its mass, to its calculation. How far is it to get from there to there, to its box? Box is everything through connection. Then you get into the velocity, okay? Then you get into calculation to numbers, 10 plus 10, right? Box, right? Take the 1, take the 0, 0, you got 100, okay? So that's how AI connects. So it's all about understanding your energies. Okay, your energy is everything. E is everything. Energy. E is everything. Okay? E is everything. So it's understanding create anything through E. That's an E, right? But it's creation, right? So it's creating everything through space and time through positions. Anything through box Victor's level connection. So you go into the waving cycle through its position. You go into security line division like conditions like this through travel positions. See how it travels? All right. So, and that's all done through E, but this is just a structure. Okay. So the thing is, you can center point your positions. They're always in the center position. You can take yourself out of the equation through E. Okay. This is just E. You have to know everything through form of E. E is everything through electricity, electronics, okay, electro gamma ray system, okay, energy light system, okay, energy velocity system, energy traction positions. E goes a long, long way. This is E, but look what I created. Look what I created through its anomaly, through circle rotation, to the center position of U. Taking E out to higher traction of a new shape. That's all space and time is shapes, letters, and numbers, guys. You have to stand the structure and all connections of the atmospheres with clouds, okay? And you guys should be able to basically put your hand up and make a cloud disappear. You should be able to do that. Okay, you guys are at that level right now, right? So get into those, get into the experiences, get into the levels, get into formations of E. So when you get into E, you get into calculation. Cartoon here. Okay, so you get into E. So this is where you got to break it down. What is E? You don't go E equals MC squared. That's way too much information. You start off, what does E represent to me through my intelligence, teleportation, through energy transference? So you have to use E. You understand E, what E can do, right? So this is the separation, this is the equal. This is line divide. Okay, you understand they're separated, right? But it's the same intelligence, it's the same line signal because it's you through box, right? So you understand the separation of this line and this line. Until you understand that, then you come into the calculation of your box frequency level of its division. Okay? And then you can travel to different realm connections. Okay? That's what you can do with equal, right? Powerful, isn't it? So you create that through anomaly. You go through circle round rotation system. Just cross-references everything. So it's kind of like an eye optical level system. It's like a microscope. It's kind of like seeing it through C-SPAN. It's kind of like seeing it through a microscope. It's trying to like seeing it through binoculars, right through that connection. So you understand the line strip of its location position. Okay, see how its center positions and it traveling through? You can actually see the three-dimensional system of its calculation, right? So when you see that, you open up its sanction to its location positions. And it becomes its own round connection, right? It's fascinating when you understand what you can do with your separation of dimensions of time positions, travel locations. Right? Cool, isn't it? So you get a box frequency level, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sector location in a box frequency level position coming into a dimensional round. Circle, 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 circle. And it's going in an optical level of an octave position into space anomaly positions, right? So you can change traction locations and you bring up the box location to a higher division location. Like this. Okay? So the box is there now, right? So this is understanding what you can do with the equal sign. It's the parallel view. So you're changing parallels every single time you travel through positions, guys. Okay? It's complicated, but you have to truly understand how to connect through its force that is all connected through its equal sign. So it travels in all connections with line signal channel upper center positions. Okay? So you have to understand the information how to travel through dimension. What is a dimension? What is the vortex of location position? All right. So once you stand in the connection, it looks like a star positions, okay, but you're traveling through so many dimensions of one round division to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 point centers of location to its box frequency of its position. Now it's extremely complicated, but once you get into line communication, this is where you create a space location position to its anomaly position. Okay? So you understand that through calculation. You can downshift and you can bring your parallels to another dimension of time positions into securing line defense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ninth dimensional system to its allocated position. See that? See how it drops down? Right? So you can center your positions in anything through calculation, but truly understand what you're dealing with. So when you color in, you're coming into the matrix line positions of time code frequencies of its time frame positions, all connected to the lines of its dimension, all connected to the equal sign of E equals MC squared. This is what I created through equal. Do you understand that now? So truly understanding what you're connecting with, right? So I'm doing this through frame. So now we E equals, and then we got M. What can we do with M? What is M? Well, M is everything through mass, volumes of mass, weight conception, anything. What are you dealing with? How am I going to travel this box if it's, it's weighs more than me, right, through the mind? Okay, you can't pick it up physically, right? But chronologically, you can set it up through the main frame of its mind system, right? So you take the M out of its equation through its sector unit level connections. So it line strips a graph. See that? See that road? It's a road, right? So you line strip it like this through calculation, modifies everything through location. And like this. Okay. So you seeing it now? This is a gateway. This is what M is. M is a gateway. So you have to understand everything through calculation when it comes into the angelics. Okay, inside the angelics, right? So it's a gateway positions through calculation, right? This is where we set up through calculations to modifications to all around division location. See that? See how powerful it is? So when you come into position, you can circle rotation center to its location like this and do the same thing again, right? So this is all created through mass, right? So when you get into that position, you come to calculation. So like it's saying, don't look at as E equals MC squared to its answer. You have to understand what E is through travel position. You have to understand what equal is through travel position. You have to understand what mass is, calculation, and its box. I've showed you different variations how you can take anything through shapes, letters, and numbers, and how you put it through connections of E equals MC squared. You have to understand your DNA, okay, travel through thought. Okay, so we come into calculation. We start off with this through position, right? So it's truly understanding what you're doing through calculation. Okay, so when you go into this modification, you take it out of its equation, right? So basically, it looks like it's C, but it's a back forcing C. So it's a line communication around through a back phrasing of a C location to its graphing to its road position. So it's truly understanding what you're doing with C through calculation, right? So you can go through round location to a center position like this through calculation. Okay. So when you do that through modification, okay, you can come out of the equation and become a box. It's very confusing if you don't understand how to change your thoughts. You change your thought, you change your shape. How is it that this is a circle and this is a square? You change your thought of time position to the C format, to its traveling position, right? So when you get into security line defense, you're going into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, right? Now you understand what's going on. If the circle is now a square, how is this representing you through thought of travel? So if you understand your travel positions, you can travel to anything through recognition. You can cross signal to locations, okay? And you can become anything through a diamond core position, line signal to its channel operation center positions through its modification. Okay, so it's all about understanding travel time positions, okay? So when you understand time travel positions, now you understand everything that the diamond core comes into a starlight position to its activation light system through its calculation, right? So it centers positions, gets into point center positions like this. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to start off, 5-point divisions. Once it understands line communication signal, it comes into traction of a new shape to a space station position. Okay, sets its anomalies and it comes into triangle force to its connection. So when you're drawing something, everything has to line communicate instantly. It can't be open space. You can't have anything open through line. Same with the separation of your thoughts through the mind system. You can't separate time positions of your calculations through modifications. So when you come into high rise, this is what you come in through position, attraction and locations. Okay, so when you come into that position, you're creating a space station position, right? So when you do that through locations, you set up core systems to its angle point locations. You cross-reference positions like this through traction to its location position. Okay, so you got 4 sector units on location. Okay, now when you do that, you set it up to a diamond core position, of traveling positions. Okay, and basically you can take that out of this equation. You can back force it to its line communication signal back into its location. Okay, so now what you're seeing here, okay, is the surfacing of a ceiling, right? And everything in the center position. You're in the center position. So until you understand the drawing, you can't come out of the center position of its connection until you understand the space location positions, everything that you draw through line communications of a circle, anything through a square, or anything through diamond to a shape, or anything through starlight, or anything through star positions to its location. All right? So when you come into that position, once you color it in, you actually see what you just finished drawing through calculation. Okay? Now this gets confusing because now you're still in the center position, but you have to understand what you're dealing with through calculation. Okay? So once you understand that you lock and key through the matrix positions, you understand your circle rotation center, it comes back into traction like this. Okay? Once you understand your positions, you can take yourself out of its equation through security line defense. 6. So you're in the 6th dimension. All communications. So it's understanding, if you don't understand your thoughts, you're going back into negative systems. So it's going over your coloration patterns, it's going through your activation lights, it's going through your body phrasing system of time positions to the sun radiation, or anything through the moon programs, or anything through Earth, its gravity positions. Okay, so once you understand its traveling positions, it can go into anything through calculation to modification. right? So I can travel here, or I can travel here through connections, right? And then line signals its channel to its operation system. So I'm building something on top of something, right? So it's understanding what's going on. So when you understand that, you can go through a shape anomaly, and now you're creating a web plasma energy force system through calculation. Center points its location positions into its round location position. Okay? So, to understand what you're doing through modification through signal channel and burst center positions. And you can change the coloration to its position. The center core of its low in communication signals, right? So when you do that, it comes into this. Ooh, it's exciting. See, now things are getting a little bit more tricky, right? So traveling through plasma. It goes back into black. So the black understands its corner positions of its line signal to its plasma, to its web graph, to its spider web. So it comes into a spider web connection like this, the plasma, to its energy force through its calculation, modification signals. Okay? So this is kind of like the matrix, but it's in a new form of a matrix, trying to understand everything through box lines. So everything connects through line signal to channel operation center positions, like this through modification signals. So they got each realm location position to its location signals. It's activating everything through line activation, line signal. So understanding your satellite positions and all your calculation modification signals through calculation. Okay? So it's a lot, isn't it? You start from this, E equals mc squared. Draw it out. Try to understand how to travel through E equals mc squared. Then you get your answer. Okay? People are trying to figure out what is E equals mc squared. What is that? Well, understand what your E is first. Okay? What is your E? What does it represent to you? What is your E? Okay? And everything through its equation when it comes into that forming system, to its modification. Getting into all those levels, guys. That's what you got to do. And then you come into the finished product, its creation of its matrix ground positions. All right? So it's to understand what you're doing with your thoughts. That's the most important thing. All right? So it gets extremely complicated if you don't understand complication. The complex division or anything through level connections. Now, if you understand it, that's great. If not, you can go through my healing. I can help you and guide you. I'm also holding, just let me know. I can set up a Zoom appointment for you guys one-on-one for other new viewers that try to understand what's going on with the matrix of yourself, because you are a mystery. You're a puzzle of a mystery. You're trying to understand your puzzles, trying to understand your thought of your puzzles, trying to understand your activation of your puzzle, trying to understand your body of your puzzle, trying to understand your dreams of your puzzle. Dream is a puzzle if you don't understand how to decipher it. You should be able to decipher your dreams, okay, especially when you get up in the morning. If you get up in the morning and you don't understand what just happened, okay, you're either lost in transition and say, whoa, that was weird, but I understand it. If it's weird and you don't understand it, you're going to keep having that repetitious dream until you understand it. You can't move yourself forward with your thoughts because your thoughts are now in the matrix. So that's the saying, when you draw something out, it covers over your shape. So you got to get back in position and take yourself out of the equation, or you're going to be caught into, it's called a Mutant X. It's actually a series, TV series too. But it's the Mutant X of you through connections. So it's understand your entity force system, your AI positions, your calculation modification, math locations, how to take anything out of this equation through E equals mc squared to its position. All right. So that's what you see through its equation. Right. So you don't want any coloration over your thought. So it's kind of like this. You're creating a thought and you're not understanding it. Okay, so let's just go thought. Now let's understand travel. That's your thought. Okay, you just created your thought. If you don't understand your thought, matrix is going to come in and it's going to cover it over like this. And then you're going to lose traction of mind through positions. So it's racing out your thought. You're lost in transition. You're lost in activation. You're lost in position of traveling to its location of time and everything through your dream. So until you understand it, it comes back into traction. So you overlap the positions. So you override the positions. Okay. Override is basically override is meaning that you have to do it manual. If it doesn't do it by the computer, it goes error. So you have to do it manual to get out of the position. So it puts you back into location of thought. Right. So basically, if you put yourself in that position, you come into time right locations, you take your thought out of its equation to its new position of time travel, to its clock and positions. Okay? Just through one thought. Yeah, it's exactly what it is, Tina. It's how to play the game. But it's amazing what you can create. Okay? It's amazing what you can create just by connections of E equals MC squared. All right? So, like I said, for understanding AI is awareness of information through perception. We formulate on so many levels of divisions of detail. Detail through THOUGHT, not just thought. Every letter, you have to understand that. Okay, let's just go into den. Okay, den. It's a place. It's a library, right? Den. So what does D mean first? Then you understand everything through north, west, south, and east. And then you move on to E, north, west, south, and east. Everything you need to know. And then N, north, west, south, and east. Then you get the equation to its plasma, to its formula. Okay? Not just understand what den is. We already know what it is. It's a place. It's like a library. It's a place where you can walk in. It's an atmosphere or location. But if you understand what D is, fully understand the dimensions and divisions of directions, then you understand the energy of everything through connection, and then you send everything through N. What does N mean to you, right? What does it mean? Okay, it could be new, it could be neutral, it could be numeral. So you're adding shapes, letters, and numbers to that. So you have to send your positions. So you can add D with the letter, number, and shape. Okay, you can do that with any form. So it's knowing how to take the D into anything through equation and take it out of its equation. Right? So now you're traveling the D, right? To everything through letters, numbers, and shapes. And it goes into secure line defense. You need secure line defense because you're protecting the round positions you're traveling to connections, right? So once you understand that, then you go into E. It takes it out of its equation, and you go to secure line defense. Okay? Same with M. You take it out of its equation. Right? Secure line defense. Okay, so you're taking everything out of DEN first before you understand what den is. Okay? People are following up of just what they see, but they don't realize that you have to go into detail of every letter, number, and shape through your thoughts. So you're creating everything through time position just through one letter. Okay? So, but that's exactly what it is, Tina. It's all about you creating and how to play the game, how to push the right buttons in your body through your thoughts of time, through clocks, or that position. Okay? So everything I'm giving you every single day is based on the test. It's complicated, but it's the complexity that you have to understand through the singularity of time travel, through position. Okay? So you understand the curvages of yourself, you understand the space of curvage, you have to understand the line of curvage, you have to understand the space of line curvage, you have to understand the string theories of line signals through tones. There's a lot of things you guys have to understand when you travel, right? Especially when you're in space. The mind travels in space and it opens up everything. And then you see everything through its anomaly. Okay? I'm not talking about science fiction, but I'm saying when you watch Interstellar, it's pretty close. It's pretty close to dimensions. It's pretty real when it comes in digital. They did it in a fantastic job with the editing and everything through its connection. And it's a great storyline. I think they're coming out with part 2 of Interstellar 2 with Matthew McConaughey. I'm pretty sure. So it's truly understanding what you're connecting with, right? And anything that you follow up with, okay, is connected to LOVE. Okay, what does love mean to you? It's the most powerful thing through dimension of time, through space. Okay, understand what L is, understand what O is, understand what V is. understand what E is. You separate that first, then you bring it together, right? Because you have to understand the details of the L, you have to understand the details of the O, the V, and the E before you understand love. Because love is a 4-letter word, but it's way beyond the mind system because it's everything through activation, through lights. Okay? It's the most powerful thing that you can have through travel. Same with the unconditional love. Whoa. See, my body just goes way back, you know? So, but hopefully you guys get that. You know, you have any questions or comments, you want to go through my healing, let me know. I'll put you in your 12 rotation centers and I'll put you into the gods of heavens, right? God through lights, God through activation. That's what happens. You open up your cycles and you come into the earth rotation for the very first time through your thoughts. So it's all about you getting better with what you're doing with your mind, how to create it through its own anomaly, how to create your own thought and travel to positions of clocking, right? To your watch. Okay. Time of watch, position of watch, location of watch, activation of watch, light of watch, dimension of watch, portal of watch, codes of watch. Okay, because that all is connected to you through space and time and anomaly. Okay. So I think that's good. We'll start off with that. And basically, we're in position right now in the new Earth rotation of its new Earth and its new connection of a new simulation interface to its new connection of a new matrix alignment to new matrix anomaly. That's what's happening right now with everybody's body frame. So we're coming more into the lights. Okay, it's fast wind in its cycles. It's going through its oscillation wind spins, going through its portals, its dimension, its time positions. Everything through the earth is going to truly understand more communications with humanity of the body frame assistance. Okay, through vortex positions. All right. So you guys have a fantastic day. Okay, and like I said, any questions or comments, anything you want to know about advice, I'm here to help you and guide you. So is my force team. They can help you out in so many different forms because they understand their thoughts. They understand the travel positions of thoughts. So everybody's understanding more and more of what's happening through its unity of consciousness. It's all about bringing us all together into one line signal, to one activation, to one position, to one connection, to one humanity of a vibration. Okay. All right. Adios.